This is supposed to be fun. That's why we do this. So lower? How's that?
All right,
Yeah.
Listen, guys. I didn't even know we had this many listeners, to be honest with you, that it would even cause any controversy.
Right, yeah. Well, listen, you got so much going on. You don't stop and take a look for a second. But this show's, I was going to say it's popular, but I got to watch what I say now. Because one viewer sent an email going, oh, all you guys do is say how you're so funny. Like, I don't even know where to start, bro.
Bro, there is so many windows open on my screen right now with this show. I don't even know where to address. First, let's just address. We are in a process of change, and I know, and Patrick and I were just talking, people are adverse to change. Sometimes they're like, hey, I like my coffee black, all right? Once you start sprinkling cream in there, forget it. We are in the process of change for the better, all right? Not the worse, all right?
Right. Yes.
The outrage that is taking place online is due to Lou and Jimmy from Boston supposedly leaving the show, right?
Yes.
I need to address a few things based on what has happened over the last 2 weeks. Lou, I mean, we have Patrick. He's our new producer. He's here in the room with me. He's setting all this up, right? He's dropping the episodes. He's editing the thing, this, that, and the other thing. It just makes sense to have a producer in the room with me in order to facilitate this show in a proper manner, right? Plus, when I'm moving into the other studio, that's a whole other animal we got to tackle. Now, DJ Lou has been with us since the beginning. DJ Lou is a vital piece of the show. He adds his flavor, his flair throughout each episode, and he puts his signature on it. Now, that being said, I didn't know that possibly could be room for two producers on the show, right?
Right.
I just thought Patrick would kind of take over and Lou's responsibilities, although very talented, are very limited due to the fact that he's in another location and cannot give us kind of what we need production-wise, lighting and computers and this thing. I'm working on a teleprompter now. Before I was working on a tripod
Right.
with an iPhone. So DJ Lou. And again, I got to ask you, and I asked you this before. I didn't really get an answer. I got an answer that was like, I thought you were going to have a conversation with Lou in regards to the show prior to the episode coming out that we were saying that goodbye to DJ Lou. Now, did you have this conversation with DJ Lou prior to the episode? You did.
Yes, I did, but I didn't. I said hold tight, that we didn't know we're still trying to figure it all out.
All right.
But I told him many times leading up to Patrick coming on board that we're switching over. We're trying to make it much more visual. That's the way these things are going. You're going to get a studio built there. You're going to need all sorts of camera stuff. I'm going to need camera stuff. That's not what Lou does. Mm-hmm. He knows that. I know that. And I listen, I even got to say, and he'll tell you, 2-3 years ago, I told him, hey, you should start trying to figure out how to do this video shit because all these things are going that direction. Mm-hmm. And, I don't want to say what, Lou did say, you're right, I should have. I had time during the pandemic and I didn't do that aspect. Now, when we did this, I was telling him, when Patrick comes out, when we start discussing more what the show's going to be, I'll have a better, and Sebastian will have a better idea where you could fit in and how. And then I got to say, as it was getting closer, you said, hold off on saying anything to Lou yet, right? Because he was still editing the shows and whatnot. And then we taped with Patrick, and we came on, and I wasn't expecting it right away, but we went into how we don't know how Lou's going to fit into this, and we even said, I remember you saying on air, we're going to try and find some other aspect to keep Lou involved. But this stuff it's become is just not what he does. And then when we taped, before that aired, before he heard it or anything, I then felt the need to call him. I was in Syracuse. We spoke for about an hour. And I had said, this the main part of the show, I don't know how you're going to be a part of it anymore, man. He was like, I understand. Don't worry. I'm doing some other things. And he's still got he's on Sirius XM. He gets a full-time job on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
So it was sad, and we're still trying to figure it out. But it wasn't totally an ambush where, people seem to think that Lou just tuned in like everybody else and found out he wasn't a part of it anymore. Yeah. It wasn't that way at all.
And it was all a big misunderstanding. The show is the show. It's getting better. We're getting better lighting. And to be quite frank with you, I'm kind of upset with you, Pete, that you haven't even mentioned the chair that I'm sitting in.